Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, come back with me Deviana Azzahroh. On this occasion, I will discuss about Review Lab 2. Here I will do some configurations such as DHCP client, DHCP server, ERP, and DHCP pool. And later, I will make for interface, namely Ether 1, Ether 2, Ether 3, and Ether 4. So let's get straight to the configuration. First, we do the wireless configuration before doing the next configuration. First, we do the configuration DHCP client. The first step is to make sure that the wireless interface of the router used the connected to access point or host or not, which function as the DHCP server. We can also check using the command interface wireless print. If there is an rsync, then the WLAN1 interface is active. Next, we configure the DHCP client to add the WLAN1 interface by using the command ip DHCP client add interface WLAN1. After that, we check the DHCP client which was previously created with the command ip DHCP client print. And it can be seen that the WLAN1 interface is still disabled invalid. Then active the WLAN1 interface on the DHCP client can use the command ip DHCP client enable number 0. After that, check with the command ip DHCP client print. Type again. We can see that we have got the IP address which is 192.168.1.27/24 with the status is bound or connected. Enter command IP address print. Enter. It can be seen that we have got the IP address dynamically for the DHCP server which is 192.168.1.27/24. Build a DHCP server using static on Ether 1, Ether 2, Ether 3, and Ether 4. We add the IP address for each interface that will be used the DHCP server. And check it using the command ip address print. We can see that the IP address has been formatted, which means that the configuration we have done has been successful. After that, we configure the IP network, IP gateway, and IP DNS, which will be given to the client and enter the net mask we are using, namely /24 on Ether 1, Ether 2, Ether 3, and Ether 4. then as Google egg. Bird. Next start to. And check with the command IP DHCP server network print. We can see that the IP DHCP server network configuration was successful. Next, we configure the IP pool to make IP rank to the DHCP server. Here I will create 10 clients. Here we do not use that one because it has been used for the IP address of the router. Host is 8 until 17. We configure SAM to Ether 2, Ether 3, and Ether 4. Change to IP and name. Then check using the command IP blueprint. We can see that the IP pool configuration has been successful. After that, we will add the IP pool to the HTTP server so that the router knows how many IP address can be given to the client. Type the command IP DHCP server name ujian tools test interface. Ether 1. Interface is Ether 1. This pull the HTTP 1. Configure SAM, which is Ether 2, Ether 3, and Ether 4. And we can see check with the command IP DHCP server print. Check. And we can see that we have successful add the IP pool to the DHCP server. Here we can see that our DHCP server is still disabled. Then we active the interface and check again with the IP DHCP server print. With the command IP DHCP server enable number 0, 1, 2, and 3. Enter. Next, check with the command IP DHCP server print. And we can see that we successfully our DHCP server is active. Next, we do the ARP configure on the DHCP server. Create using the command IP DHCP server set number 0, 1, 2, and 3 at ARP yes. Enter. Then check using the command IP DHCP server print. And it can be seen on the display if the ARP has a yes sentence. Next, change the ARP to reply only on the interface we use as server, namely Ether 1, Ether 2, Ether 3, and Ether 4 by typing the command interface Ethernet set Ether 1 Ether 2 Ether 3 and Ether 4 ARP reply only. Next, enter and wait. Back to Winbox and click reconnect. Do this and then check with the command interface Ethernet print. We can see that the ARP view has changed to reply only. Before testing, we must first make a DHCP request through client. Make sure the Ethernet desktop client has been obtained. Open network. Change up the door option. Next, click OK. And check status. It can be set the IP address on Ether 1 managed to get a IP address, namely 172.16.10.17, which is subnet mask is /24, IP gateway 172.16.10.1, and IP DNS is 8.8.8.8. Close. As you can see that Ether 1 has been success in getting an IP address. Then we do same check on Ether 2, Ether 3, and Ether 4. By moving the UTP cable first and don't forget to disable enable before checking. Move UTP cable and Ether 2. Check. And we can see that AP address and subnet mask, AP gateway, and then S successful on Ether 2. Next, move UTP cable on Ether 3. Close. And we can see that AP address, subnet mask, default gateway, and AP then S is Ether 3. Next, check Ether 4. Move UTP cable on Ether 4. And we can see that Ether 4 has been success. Close. Move again UTP cable on Ether 1 and back to inbox. Click reconnect. Check the proxy you share the command IP DHCP server please print. We can see here that the connected hostname is desktop with the IP address that we configure here with the dynamic RT, which means automatic. Next, we change the IP to static with the command IP DHCP server please make static number 0, 1, 2, and 3. Enter. Check whether the IP address has changed to static or not by typing the command IP DHCP server list print. We can see that the IP has changed to static because it's here not the things are dynamic. We can see that the IP that use host 17 here I will change the host to 8. Then we change again. Type the command IP DHCP server please set number 0 address 172.16.20.8. We configure same or Ether 2, Ether 3, Ether 4, and Ether 1. Number 1. Then we check again the command IP DHCP server please print. We can see that the host we configure has been successfully done. Next, here I will test this for interface. The first Ether one. We can see that network details. Before check is disable and enable. We can see that we have managed to IP address has been changed. And close. Connect. Next, ping to the router via GMD to make sure that client is connected to the router. Typing the command ping AP gateway is 172.16.10.1. Enter. And that results are successful because the status is reply, which means that it is connected to the client. Then we do test using static IP. Type IP address 172.16.10.10 and set mask /24. Don't forget IP gateway. And next, OK. Next, check to the network connection details. We can see that the IP address has changed to static IP. And the DHCP enables that is no. Back to GMD. Next, ping AP gateway. Ping 172.16.10.1. And the result is unsuccessful because the status is request timeout, which means the router is not connected to the client. Next, test to Ether 2. Before doing test to the Ether 2, we move the UTP cable to Ether 2. Close. And don't forget to make a DHCP request via client. Make sure Ethernet desktop client can be obtained. And next, OK. And check network details. We can see that IP address has been changed. Next, ping to the router via GMD to make sure client is connected to the router by typing ping IP gateway is 172.16.20.1. And the result unsuccessful because the status is reply, which means that it is connected to the client. Then we do test using static IP. Back network connection, click properties. Type IP address 172.16.20.10. Subnet mask /24. Don't forget gateway 172.16.20.1. Next, OK. Next, change to router connectors details. We can see that IP address has changed as we configure R, and DHCP enable is no. Close. Next, ping to the router via CMD. Type ping IP gateway and the result is unsuccessful because the status is request timeout, which means the router is not connected to the client. Next, test to the Ether3. Before doing the Ether3 test, we move the UTP cable to Ether3. And don't forget to make a DHCP request via client. Make sure the Ethernet desktop client can be obtained. Okay. Next, network connection details. And we can see that the IP address has been changed to the IP on the Ether3. Close. Next, ping the router via CMD by typing ping to the IP address 172.16.30.1. Enter. And result is successful because the status is reply, which means that it is connected to the client. Then we do the test using IP static. Click Properties. Next, choose the IPv4. Type IP address 172.60.30.10. Subnet mask /24. And don't forget IP gateway 172.16.30.1. And next, OK. Next, check to the network connection details. We can see that to the IP address has been changed. Host is 10. And the DHCP enable section is no. Next, ping to the router via CMD to find out whether the client is connected to the router or not by typing the command IP gateway. And the result is unsuccessful because the status is request timeout, which means that the router is not connected to the client. And test finally to Ether4. Close. Before doing the test Ether4 test, we move the UTP cable to Ether4. And don't forget to make a DHCP request via client. Make sure the Ethernet desktop client can be seen obtained. Choose Properties and click Obtain. Next, check the network connection details. We can see that the IP address has been changed to on the Ether 4. Next, ping to the wr.wb to make sure that the client connected to router. Ping AP gateway 172.16.40.1. And the result is successful because the status is reply, which means that it is connected to the client. Next, do the test using static IP. Click Use the following address. Click IP address 172.16.40.10 started mask /24. Don't forget IP gateway 172.16.40.1 and click OK. Back to wr.wb. Next, ping the client connected to the router or not by typing the command IP gateway. And the result is unsuccessful because the status is request timeout, which means the router is not connected to the client. And we can see to the details. Its IP address has been changed to the host 10 and the HTTP enable is no. And that's all, and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.